Welcome everybody.
Or Andrew's introing.
I'm gonna let Stephanie intro this because
Oh, you're gonna let me?
I'm gonna let you.
Thank you for letting
I'm
me.
gonna let you do it because you made that smart comment. So I'm gonna be the first voice.
You're gonna
they
hush
hear,
your mouth.
But now I'm gonna hush it when I choose, which
Okay,
is
so
now.
we're so excited to have Madeline Green on. We have lots of exciting stuff to talk about. Um, we want to hear your journey. We're gonna first off, let me tell you what she did. She did Cactus Rose that was relocated to Camp Eagle, which I feel like is a harder course. You had crazy weather conditions, rain, mud, and you did it in 34 hours, which is crazy because they have a 48-hour cutoff on like the normal course. So that's an incredible finish.
We should
So
explain what Cactus Rose is because I think we may have done an episode about
we
Cactus Rose
have,
before, but
but I
like
will go through it. It's Would you consider it a fat ass? Because there's no aid stations. It's all you supporting yourself. They have water.
Yeah, they just put out water jugs, but they're like unmanned.
Yes. So it's all, I would consider it a fat ass. I mean, they do have timing mats. Was the course marked?
Yeah, it was marked.
I'm still calling it a fat ass. So no manned aid stations. You have to take care of yourself, and they stuck to the 25-mile loops.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's
And
normally
you,
on Bandera, which was relocated because of the rain to Camp Eagle, which we've talked about this before. Camp Eagle is way harder. Personally, is what my opinion is because I've seen both courses. Um, Camp Eagle is way worse. So tell us about your headspace. I have so many questions running through my head. We're going to start with what's your headspace about when they announced that it was relocated, like the week of, right?
yeah, it was like 3 days before. And I guess it
Okay.
didn't like mess with me too much because I'm not familiar with either location. I'd never been out to Bandera. And I knew that they had moved it when they did the 100K earlier in the year. And I saw storms in the forecast. And so I kind of like started wondering if there was a possibility of them moving it. So it's kind of like already in my head. So when they announced it, it wasn't like shock. And then I like didn't know what I was in for either way. So I was just like, all right, I guess we'll just roll with it.
Okay, so what made you sign up for this one? We want to hear your journey. I know we talked about a little of this before we started recording. This was not your first 100 miler. This was not your first 100 miler attempt. What's your story there?
So I guess I've been trail running for a little over 3 years and I just like to get into the hard stuff. So I grew up in Colorado. So I wanted to like get back up in the mountains. So my first 100-mile attempt was in actually in the Utah side, um, the Ute 100, and um, just had an injury about I don't know 12 miles in, and just like dealt with that until it pulled me out. So I DNF'd that one, and then I came back and finished it the next year. And while I was training for that, I had paced a friend at Your Right 100 and delusionally thought that I could do the full 100 after pacing it. So I attempted that this year, DNF'd, and just kind of needed like that redemption, or just, I just wanted to like know that I could still do 100 miles. So Cactus Rose had not been on my radar just because it's one of the harder races and not so many loops. So it kind of just like worked out timing wise for me to do it this year.
Cactus Rose has been on my radar. Okay, and I was gonna go pace Lisa Decker
Oh yeah.
to do a loop out there because I was like, I want to see the course. I've seen the Bandera course, but they take what I've heard is they take the flat parts out to do Cactus Rose. So I was like, I want to go see. And then when it got relocated, I was like, I'm taking this off my fucking list. Like, just kidding. I do have a list of there's a few races that I want to do, but when I'm ready, I'm gonna sign up like the week of. And so this would be one, but 3 days ahead of time, it's like you could sign up the week of and it could still like Lake Murray's another one I really want to do, but it'll
Oh
be week
yeah.
of, weather conditions. And I know I mean, I just want to enjoy them. So it's like if I go back, I'm going to go back under those conditions. But Cactus Rose, I'm like, fuck, move this to the list because I have multiple lists of races I want to do. Um, okay, so compare this to. I'm so scared I'm going to say this wrong. Compare this to Ute.
Cute. Yeah. So I think the terrain was a lot harder because it's just like nonstop rocks and you're just like always going up and down. And Ute, I feel like had more runnable terrain and like smoother trails. So this one just like beat up my feet and my joints. So that aspect was harder. But Ute was the elevation. So like you're at like 10,000 feet altitude, plus like a lot of like just really steep climbs. So I think overall Ute was harder, but this one beat me up more.
Because it was more technical.
Yeah,
I think that's what's so crazy about these races because I like to race in different states. It's like being technical, single track versus double track, like it could be
yeah.
altitude versus something like it has more climbing, but like all the things that make a race challenging and how we do them in different places, and you get such a different challenge. What about the
Yeah.
weather compared between the two races?
Well, both of them I had really bad lightning storms. So, um, and I think the ones at Cactus were probably a little bit scarier. It just was like a lot closer and lasted all night. So, and I don't like lightning to begin with. So it was like really scary being in those conditions. And I was just like, it just wears you out mentally because you're just scared the whole time and just like, focusing on like trying to get to the aid stations. And so, yeah, it's just mentally exhausting. Um, but we also had like really crazy wind the entire time. So that was really awful. Just like dealing with like, I think it was like 30-mile-an-hour winds. And that was awful.
Okay, so oh my goodness, I just lost my train of thought because I was listening about the weather.
All right, so I'm gonna
Oh
take
my God.
over
Hold that
until
thought. This is
until
why I
she
write down while people are
until
talking.
she jumps back to whatever she's trying to get to. But yeah, so you didn't just jump into trail running. I must say you're from Houston. We have nothing to train on over here.
Mhm.
Um, we don't. I wouldn't even consider Memorial Park any part of that trails. There's really nothing to train on. But you also have a background as an Ironman. So like you had the background, and I'm assuming you did that. The Ironman came first, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So just based off of and how long have you been living in Houston?
13 years.
Yeah, so based off of the fact that you're an Ironman and you're living in Houston, you jump into trail running, but you want to do the hard shit. Like that, you're choosing some of the hard like stuff I am terrified of. Like, just I and there's nothing to really train on out here. So
No.
what made you want to jump in headfirst into some of the more difficult races out there, and how were you even able to prepare for them?
I think initially when I saw the video of Ute, it was just so beautiful. And growing up in Denver, we would go to Moab for like family vacations, and so the area is fairly nostalgic for me. And so seeing those videos, I was like, I have to do that course. And initially, I thought it was going to be like I'm going to do 100-miler and that's it. And if I'm going to do one, I want it to be that one. So that's kind of how it started. And then training for it um, was like you said, just impossible in Houston. But I did a lot of like Stairmaster, and then I would get one of those elevation masks. And I don't know that it like really truly helps like with any kind of acclimation, but I think it does build like lung capacity. And so I would get on the Stairmaster with my elevation mask and my weighted vest and just like look like an absolute freak on the in the gym and get a lot of weird looks, but I think that's what helped a lot. And then just time on feet.
So, um,
Come
I
on,
have
all
three
that
questions.
time.
Okay, I have three questions and they're not related, so I feel like I'm real scatterbrained. I'm
Oh,
blaming this on the
jeez.
time change. I got 8 hours of sleep last night, and I woke up with more brain fog today than like normal. It's like I guess I function better on less sleep. Um, okay, did you have pacers at either of these races?
So my paced me at Ute for the last one. And he's not much of a runner. He's done a couple half marathons, but he just like really wanted to help me out. So he trained to be able to pace me there, and that was super helpful. But that was like a 10-mile section there. And then at Ouray, I didn't have any pacers, and then until I DNF'd. And then for Cactus, one of the haters came out and paced me for about, I want to say it was about 18 miles, but ended up dropping him.
Okay, wait. Did we mention yet that you were the only female finisher and you did it with just one pacer for an 18-mile section and that's it? That is
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
incredible. Your time was impressive. Like to start off, your time was impressive, like period. And okay, so here's the other thing. What time did the race start? 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Yeah, yeah,
So this puts you finishing at like 2 a.m. on night
yeah,
2.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so when they paced the 18 miles, was that during the day and you had to go
Is
into
the
a fucking
daytime.
night? So
Yeah,
you did both nights by yourself.
yeah, yeah. And the crazy thing, the second night, a lot of the hard milers had dropped at that point, and then there was only a few 50 milers still on the course. And so that like last 25-mile loop, I think I saw 3 people the entire time. And it was like just very lonely.
Right, because there's no aid station. So usually
Yeah,
when like shit's going
yeah,
on, like at least when you get to the aid station, what I do is like I tell a little joke and like have a little human interaction and then you get a little bit of
yes.
energy and then you scoot off and be by yourself again. I could not imagine like not having any. I mean, it's so simple, but just seeing a human face, you're like, "Oh, I'm not out here alone."
Yes, yes. And yeah, it was just like it was wild.
Um okay, so here's my third question. These are so not related, but I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. Are you gonna go back to Ouray and finish it?
Yes.
Oh, I
I'm
love it.
I'm determined, like, so they, like, sent me a special invite link, I guess, because I had done it this year, because the registration technically doesn't open until December, so they sent me that link, and I was like, "Well, I kinda have to do it." So, yeah, I'm in, and I'm gonna go get it done.
Is that over the summer?
Yeah, it's in July.
Oh my God. Okay. If I can make it work, I don't want to make any promises, but if I'm not traveling anywhere else, I'll come help crew or pace whatever you need. I just need to look up the dates.
I would love that. Yeah, it's, like, July 17th or something,
I don't even know what my race schedule is. Let me look.
and that's all I've got in the calendar right now, and basically just, like, putting everything into that one basket and doing everything I can to finish it, so,
That's a good race to like, that's a goal race. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
I do lots of, like, I don't want to say little races, but I do lots of different races and the big scary ones. I think I'm
Yeah.
free that weekend. I think it's the weekend before I'm going to do one, but I think I could do it because that would be, I mean, it's altitude. I mean, I'd
Yeah, it's
probably not be able to do too much for you, but I would come support you and help you.
well, I would definitely love, like, as much crewing help as possible too, so That would be great.
Yeah, because just seeing faces.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, so how do you feel about the female representation at this race? How many females were there? Do you think there should have been more?
So when I initially signed up, I think there was like 6 signed up, and I was a little bit surprised, at how few there were. I was expecting more, and I guess, like, with it being known to be such a hard race, it does kind of make sense, but it was just, like, shocking to me that there was, like, so few, and only 3 of us actually showed up at the start line. So I don't know if people backed out because of the weather or the move or what happened there, but yeah, there's 3 of us at the start line, and so then we were all just like, "Yeah, we're gonna, like, help each other all get to the finish." And so I really, really was hoping all 3 of us were gonna do it, and because then, automatically all 3 of us get to podium anyway, so, at that point, it wasn't really like a competition, it was just like, "Let's all get this done." So I was, like, really sad when the other 2 dropped out, but when I realized that, it was, like, huge motivation for me to get it done because I was like, "I cannot let there be no women finishers here. Like, I can't let this be an all men race, like, we've gotta have a woman on the board."
And I know it's silly, but like that, there was a race that Shippy, and it was like purely endurance because it was like snow and like freezing 0-degree temps. It was like crazy.
That one was
And
nuts.
there was only 3 guys that finished that were in the race, and I was
Yeah.
the 3rd female, and I was dead fucking last, and I was like, "You have to fucking finish this because we need equal representation." You know what I mean? Like, when we
Yes.
know that, like, our finish matters for, like, what people are gonna see. So I
Yeah.
love that even more that you finish knowing that, like, I have to do this so that we can get a female on the board. That makes it all the more epic.
Yeah. It
I
was, like, just like the last 10 miles, that was, like, all I could think about.
is we have to have a female finisher.
Yes, because I was, like, dying. That last 10 miles was so hard.
So we had a friend out there, female friend, also doing it, and you guys seemed pretty close. But obviously the tracking is only just pads, mats, and so it's hard to tell
Mhm.
exactly where each of you were at. But Marion was doing it. Um,
Was she out there?
yeah, and she was
Oh,
it was her, at one point it was just her and Madeline left. So just both of them duking it out. But we thought that was pretty cool, but did you guys like ever actually see each other out there?
Yeah, I passed her, um, almost at the end of the 3rd lap, and I was really surprised because I wasn't expecting to catch up to her. And then I was going back out for my 4th lap when she was coming in, and that's when she told me she was doing. So that was kind of our only interaction. But I was definitely bummed when she dropped because I was kind of hoping that we were gonna like battle it to the finish.
Yeah, she was out there also alone. It looks like that's the way to go. Like Stephanie, I kind of wanted to go out there, but when they moved it to Camp Eagle, it's a lot further for me than Bandera, and squeezing that in between work shifts was even harder. But I will say, Camp Eagle's setup, such a beautiful place. Like I love
It
it.
is.
Just and
I felt
then
like it was a lot of bushwhacking on the course when I did the reroute for the 100K pacing. I only paced. So do
Mhm.
you think that it was like a lot of like you were just following the markers versus an actual trail?
I think
Or
they've
is
done a
that
lot
just
of
because
trail
of rocks?
work. I feel like most of the trails were pretty well defined and it was
Okay.
marked well. So I think they've made some new trails out there and have done some work. The Tejas Trails has done a lot of work out there. So it
Well,
was it was a
Tejas
lot
Trails,
easier to follow.
it was marked beautifully. Like if they hadn't have marked it, I would not have known where to go. So I don't know
Yeah.
if maybe it was the rocks where it's like I don't know whether that's a tree or a trail or not. So
It did get
but
off
that's fun.
course twice,
You
but
did.
yeah, at night, and I think that was probably just my own fault.
Okay, so tell us about this. Well, essentially, you crewed yourself because you had to do drop bags.
Hmm. Yeah.
Or did you carry, like, did you put stuff, important stuff in the drop bags, like jackets and headlamps, or did you just carry enough on you for a 25-mile loop? Like, what was your
I would
strategy there?
I would carry most everything for a 25-mile loop. I did one drop bag at um I guess almost the halfway point, and then I had like my main area at the start finish. But that one it was mostly just food, so I would have some like real food to eat halfway through. And then I had just like some emergency items there and like sunscreen. But I carried most of everything that I would need. And then I charged my headlamp, um, and had like a backup that I carried with me just in case. So I had to like recharge my headlamp for the second night. But yeah, I would always have like a spare set of like socks and a blister kit. Um, what else did I have in there?
Did
My
you keep
extra light.
spare shoes in there? You're
I
like,
had
no, I'm gonna
spare,
change at the start finish, or
yeah, I only had shoes at the start finish.
and then I think that's one thing too is I've learned as I do this. Um, you can have drop bags in all these spots, but you're not wanting to touch them. Like if you
Yeah.
I feel like every 25 miles, my favorite course is 16.6 where you have exactly 6 loops. That is my favorite
Oh,
number because
yeah.
I feel like it's not too long at all, but every loop you're doing a significant amount. Like every 2 loops you're doing
Yeah.
a 50K.
Yeah.
And so that's my favorite. But if you can not stop less than that, you know what I mean? Like if you're stopping every 12 miles, you're stopping too much. So that's
Yeah.
where I see, 25-mile loop, I can see where it's better just to keep everything at the start finish. But I would do the same thing with keeping food in that spot. Were you allowed to like put a cooler in that drop bag? Because were
Yeah.
you dropping your stuff off at that halfway mark?
Yeah, we dropped our own bag. I had a cooler there, and then I had, like, drinks and stuff in there too. I just, like I put a whole bunch of different things in there just in case, because I had no idea what I was gonna want.
Okay, and so you had no crew person at the start finish?
No,
Oh
no.
my God, what a badass. Okay, so there was timing mats. Was there like even a timing mat person working the race at the start finish?
I I'm not sure, probably, but I didn't actually see.
You never got to
It's
talk to a human even coming to the
No, I
start
did.
finish?
I mean, the race director was there, and there was a few people, at the start finish, like, I guess just kinda keeping things going. And he was there to, like, welcome me in at the finish and gave me, like, a trophy and everything, so
Oh, awesome. All I'm
yeah.
thinking about is like, did you have any human
Oh,
interaction? I mean,
yeah,
it is.
yeah, for sure. There was a lot of people at the start finish, and I think there was, like, a lot of other crew people, the race people, and then, um, yeah, so I always at least saw people there, which was nice.
Andrew, do you have any
No,
questions?
no, I thought you were just continuing to just, you know, work through your brain fog or whatever the hell's going on with
Right.
that. So, so Cactus Rose is notorious in Texas for just its setup. It's brutal, it's vicious, but back in hill country where they usually have it, the harder version of the Bandera race they have over there, uh, end up having some trail angels out there that kind of take over the unmanned aid station and set up shop and actually helping out a lot of people. And sometimes we'll bring their own food and start cooking stuff, which or leaving supplies. And then if you're someone like me, when I was crewing Regina, I ended up taking over and making stuff for other people while waiting for Regina. Was there any of that going on at Camp Eagle? Like, were there people like surprising like oh okay I guess there is some stuff here that people are leaving or just helping to make or
At
what
the
have you?
second to last aid station, there was a group that had it looked like they cooked a whole bunch of food. Um, and so I didn't eat any of it, but they were there like offering it to anyone that came in. And then they definitely gave me some motivating words and stuff and like helped me get in and out of that aid station because that was when I was just like, I don't know if I can keep going. So it was nice to like have them there. Um, but yeah, I was surprised to see some actually like in there cooking.
So also very difficult course, but you've done some difficult things, and you didn't know any better. But yeah, that's by Texas standards a pretty ridiculous race. So let's just double down into this. Your headspace. How bad did it get out there at times? Because with the way it's set up, and just basically it's meant for isolation, especially since there's not a ton of people out there. Did it ever get that low for you to where you're just in some mentally uncomfortable places? Because the few times I've been out there at aid stations just waiting for someone to come in darkness and there's no one there and I'm just waiting for like Regina to come and like it's like this is the most depressing fucking place I've ever been. I'm just sitting in darkness fighting off mosquitoes. You have to turn off my headlamp because the bugs are attacking me, and I'm just like, this is dumb. What am I doing? It's like, so did your headspace ever get into some pretty dark places?
Yeah, I think at the very end, I was just moving slowly and it was just like I think the worst part was kicking rocks. And so like my toes hurt really bad. And so I was just so tired of kicking rocks. And so I was just like moving really slowly to like try and protect my feet. And it was just like really frustrating. And all I wanted to do was just be done. And I definitely just like had a few just like sobs every once in a while and just a couple like pity parties for myself. And then I would hear ATVs in the distance and just be like praying that they were coming to pick me up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And
Did you?
I hit 100 miles at the last aid station, and I ended up I think like the GPS gets really wonky in some of those areas, so I ended up like getting in a 105 miles. So I don't think the course was wrong. I think it was just the GPS, but it was still just like I've hit 100. I want to be done. Like, can you just like I'm done. Come get me.
I bet the course was long because I would never blame it on the watch. I would always say I got the mileage.
When
We
I
want
look at
someone
my
to be
map
mad at.
though, that like map is
No.
like in the aid stations was so all over the place. It was
Okay,
Yeah,
pretty
so
funny.
maybe you got a little extra.
yeah. With that generous long cutoff, did you ever take advantage of that at aid stations? Like, I'm taking a nap here. Like I
I
mentioned
didn't
before,
take any naps. I did kind of take my time at the start finish, and especially after it rained, I like retaped my feet and like took my time and just I wasn't worried about the cutoff, so it was nice not having that pressure.
yeah, it's just that's a type of race that's like designed for you to take advantage of. I'm sure where there was a
Yeah.
lot of cots over there. Hopefully, if not, then that's different. But
I
um,
didn't see any, but I wasn't looking for them either.
oh, Stephanie, this could be a good one for you to get your feel for some of the longer distance races. You know,
Someone asked me just the other day, and I was like, I don't think I'll run 200s. I mean, maybe one day, but I still am not. I kind of like the 2 night thing because at Cruel Drill, I
Yeah.
did that, and it's a complete mind fuck. Like, it's way different. It is way different going into 2 nights.
Yeah. Well, and it's weird. I realized like you spend more time because of that afternoon start, you spend more time running at night than you do during the day. So like the majority of the race you're running by headlamp, which is just like weird.
which for a slow person like me, that throws me the fuck off because like at nighttime, I associate well, I'm probably what 50, 60 miles into a race and I'm
Oh
sprinting.
yeah.
Like, so mentally it just fucks with me. It's like, oh my God, is this what it feels like to be fast, running in darkness? Uh, you know, just, not realizing I'm only two hours into a race. So that kind of, I'm not a huge fan of the late afternoon starts, but I get it. I understand it. So other than the lows, what about the highs? Did you ever hit some euphoric moments out there other than the fact that you're like, oh, I'm about to finish?
I think at like halfway, once the sun came up and the rain had stopped, I like survived the storms, which I like truly thought I was gonna die in. So I survived the storms and I was like feeling pretty good. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to be like running strong at that point, but when I like left the start finish for the third lap, I was running pretty well. And so I think that was like the high point because I was just it never felt that good 50 miles into a race.
That's the night start too, because like having the night start, you're running in the night on fresh legs. So you're
Yeah, that's
naturally going
true.
slower because the dark, but you're also going faster at night than you would on a night in a morning start. Like your
Yeah.
legs are fresher. So at night you're going faster than a normal night, but you're going slower than a normal start of the race. I love night starts, but not with the two nights. Like give me one night and I'm okay with it. But when you have the two nights, that's when it's like a complete game changer because
Yeah.
the amount of clothes you need to bring. If you think you're going to
Yeah.
change clothes for the night, then you're like, I need enough for two nights. I need to, and yeah.
And knowing you're gonna be dealing with the weather too. That was hard, like making sure I had enough, knowing that I was gonna get soaked in the night.
How was that? Did you have enough change of clothes? Did you just stay wet and cold, or was it warm? Or
Overnight, I just stayed wet and cold because my rain jacket was kind of garbage and ended up soaking through pretty quickly. So at that point, I was like, well, it's gonna keep raining. I might as well just stay in what I've got. Um, but then, yeah, the rest of the time it was fine, and it never got too hot, which was good. I was a little bit worried about it being hot, but it was the Saturday was was cloudy almost the whole time, so it got like warm and humid, but like nothing like we'd been dealing with in Houston up till then.
did you have a time goal going into this race knowing that you didn't know the course?
I had kind of looked back at some of the previous times, and it was hard to judge because there really aren't a lot of finishers. Going back at least like the past 5 years. And they were kind of all over the place, like ranging from 28 to 42. And so it was like, I have no idea where I fit in that. And I didn't recognize, a lot of the names. So I couldn't really even compare myself to anyone. So I just kind of threw a dart at the wall and thought I was going to be about 40 hours. So 34 I was like stoked
Damn
about.
good, right?
So.
So were you planning to stay the night there Sunday? What did your after your finish look like?
Yeah, so I had camped. I'd left my tent set up so that I could try and like sleep a little while on site before leaving. Um, but they had a couple bunkhouses that they had available for essentially so that people could rest if they needed to before leaving. So I was like, well, yeah, I'll take a real bed over sleeping on the ground. But those mattresses were terrible. So I went and laid down for like 2 hours and basically just like rolled around and never fell asleep because I was just so achy. But basically just laid there until the sun came up and then went and packed up all my stuff and was like, I'll drive as far as I can and pull over and sleep if I need to. But I ended up making it all the way home. So I think
How far of a
like
drive was it?
5 hours. So it was pretty long. But I just like I pulled over every hour and just got out and walked around and had brought a bunch of pastries that I bought before I had left Houston. So I would just get out and drink caffeine and eat some sugar and get on my way. But I think like total, which is like wild, if you don't count those 2 hours that I like rolled around in that in a bunks for, I was awake for like 60 hours, which is
Hmm.
just stupid.
Speaking of pastries, yeah, you bring everything to the aid station, and that's what you have. What was your setup like? What was your go-tos? What did you have everything kind of similar in each drop bag? Like I kind of just want to hear the strategies because you have to basically create your own aid station. So,
Yeah, yeah.
what were you packing?
I had just the two, so I had a cooler at each of my drops. And the one at the start, I had a whole bunch of food in there, just a bunch of different cold things. And then like chips, pretzels, um, those like chomps, meat sticks, turkey, boiled eggs, avocados, fruit, just like random stuff. And mostly my go-to ended up just being like pretzels and chips. And ended up having to throw a whole bunch of stuff away because all my ice melted and how long everything had been sitting in there with no ice. So I guess I probably need a better cooler or just not worry about it. um, but yeah, that was like not being able to have any cooked food was kind of hard. Because I didn't want to have to like try and deal with doing any of that on my own and not having a crew there. I just had to rely on everything just being just ready to go. So I just kind of made some like little snack bags full of stuff that I could just grab and carry with me.
That's something to think about too. Without having aid stations, nothing's cooked unless you cook it yourself, and you're not gonna like you. That's a decision. I didn't even think about that. The little
Yeah.
stuff you don't think about.
Yeah. And I'd like cooked some stuff ahead of time, like pancakes, bacon. I made these little like rice bowls and but none of that like was appetizing cold. So I like thought it was gonna be good in the moment and then, just without heating it up, I was like, "Yeah, I don't wanna eat that."
There was one time in Montana, I did a fat ass 100, and I made like nasty shit. Like I was like, let's do hash browns, knowing it wasn't gonna get heated up. And Richard and Shashi looked at me and they were like, "That's a bad idea." And I was like, "This is gonna be so good." And it was so, I didn't eat it. I wasted it. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I was like, "This is gonna be so good."
Yes, that's what I was like, "These a hit." No. I throw 'em away.
Like sausage biscuits, like I heated them up
Oh,
and like they're
yeah.
gonna. Of course, they're not gonna be good 30 hours later. But that, yeah, so much
And I
fun.
always like drinking hot coffee too, and so I was like that was probably the thing I missed the most was being able to have hot coffee.
Oh, because there's no aid stations.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, and that's where you want crew because they could have had that
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive that you did this with no crew and were so successful, especially under the conditions.
Thank you. It was definitely very hard and, like, deceivingly hard.
Okay, so how has recovery been after being up for 60 hours straight?
Surprisingly really good. I just basically have just been sleeping a lot. But I'm surprised, like, I thought my legs were gonna be pretty wrecked for a while, and I'm moving around pretty decent. The only, like, lingering thing I've got is I think I've got some, like, sciatica going on. Um, so I just gotta work out, like, where that's coming from and what's causing it, but, I mean, really no major injuries. I had some nasty blisters, but those are, like, healing up pretty good, so, um, I feel like I've bounced back a lot faster than I expected to.
So, I saw you yesterday at Memorial, moving around. Well, I know it's been some time now, but like, what are you itching for next? I mean, you have tackled some big things, attempted, conquered some things, and now, regardless of, if you finish or not, you are just only gaining valuable experience from, each successive thing that you do. So you're in a better place at the end of the day than you were at the beginning before we did any of these. So other than wanting to, maybe seek some redemption and tackling some of the races you weren't able to finish, like where's your mindset, like post Cactus Rose, like within the vicinity of finishing?
I think it's just like I wasn't expecting it to go as well as it did. And it wasn't for me like it was still pretty close to they're only a few months apart. And so I like really wasn't sure if I was even gonna be able to hold up for the full race. And so I think it gave me a big confidence boost and um, proof that I like can do those types of things. And um, even though like I was very proud of what I was able to do in Uray, it's still hard to like come away with a DNF from that. So I think that this like just gave me the confidence boost I need to back into that and know that I can finish it. It's just, I've got to like work on a few things. And so I'm kind of just like laser focused on that coming up. And I know it's still a ways out, but I think that's kind of just always been the goal is to get back out there and finish that. So I think this was just kind of like the confidence I needed and just gaining a little bit extra experience. I think every race you do, you get more experience and you learn things, no matter how long you've been doing it. So I think it helps just to get through that. And yeah, and I'm looking forward and I'm excited.
Now as we alluded to, is your past. You've done some other things that are not trail running related. Um, I always like asking people this that have kind of crossed into different areas of endurance sports. Like for me, everything has been successive, as in like I started out, well, other than strength training. My first foray was cycling. Then from cycling went on to road running into trail running, and I just never really found a balance where I could do all of those at once and flip flop between sports. So you, when's the last time you've done an Ironman, and how many have you done? We should probably start with that too. But
Yeah,
yeah, let's.
I've done three total. The last one I did was in Houston, in April of this year. So I kind of did go back from trail running back into triathlon for a bit. And then it was only, I want to say like 16 weeks between the Ironman and going to Uray. So that was like kind of a crazy transition going from the swim bike run to like straight into some serious trail training. Um, but yeah, I think that was like kind of part of the motivation too, is trying to do both of those in a year.
Are you able to find a balance between kind of doing every one of these things? Because it's like I don't know how people do it, man. I kind of go all in on one thing, and like I'm all into running. I don't want to cycle. Oh, I gotta cycle. God damn it. Oh, I'm in cycling. Oh, the Peloton left me. They're assholes. I don't want to cycle anymore. My feelings are hurt. Swimming. Nobody wants to fucking swim.
That's
Nobody
true.
wants to swim. They're forced to, just to say they didn't, just so they can do an Ironman. But like, would you say that you've been able to find that balance then, or you're still working on it?
I feel like I've found it pretty well. I use swimming and biking a cross train, so I swim once a week for recovery, essentially. So I and I'm pretty consistent about that, even though I very much dislike swimming. I just keep doing it, and then I usually bike once a week for cross training, and I feel like that like keeps my bike fitness up, and also is just like low impact. So I feel like it's worked out pretty well.
With your hands dipped in multiple different jars, would you say that you've looked at maybe other types of endurance sports or other challenges? I know Stephanie, when we've had Dylan on, all of us discussed some races we would like to do when we did the showdown, and I mentioned some extreme one. I think it was in South America where you gotta like you're running through a jungle, running, canoeing, zip lining, doing all sorts of ridiculous things. Like, have you, or you have some of the ultra endurance races over in Europe, or the ice ultra, or I think that was, I forgot where that was at. Just the desert ultra, all these ecosystem ultras that are just like the extreme ends, and there's so many different facets in it. Like, have you ever thought maybe one day you would maybe, venture into something more extreme because like you're doing all these things already, and it just, it just seems like someone that's always trying to see what else is out there. Unlike me, that is comfortable with just my one thing at the moment. So,
I haven't really looked too much into any of those other kind of things. I mean, I think the most I looked into was some of like the extreme triathlons that combine like mountain biking and trail running into them. But um, I think the one that I was looking at, I don't think exists anymore. So that's about as far as I got.
what was, what was it? What's that? What's the big Iron Man? Not, it's like three, four times
Why
as
the
long. No, no, I
oh
mean like
oh
the
Ultraman.
Ultraman. Yeah, the one I had a friend that did one in Arizona. Like,
Oh, okay.
have you ever thought about doing something like that? That sounds
They were
dumb.
gonna have yeah, they were gonna have one in Houston. It wasn't an Ultraman, but um it was still like longer, a multi-day. And I had thought about that, but I guess it ended up not working out. The race never happened. But I have heard that sometimes those that happen over the multiple days are often easier because you get the break in between and you get to sleep and recover. Uh,
Yeah, I think the one in Arizona had breaks in between, but Stephanie and Ultraman, it's a 10-kilometer swim, so 6 miles, 276-kilometer bike ride, and then a double marathon at the end, so 52-mile marathon at the end.
But that's over how many days? Because you said they sleep between it.
That depends on the event, I think, right?
I think it's usually like 3 days. You'll do like swim and part of the bike, and then you finish out the bike on the second day, and then the run is on the third. I think it's typically how it's done.
Yeah, you can do some dumb shit like that. Stephanie, have you ever thought about maybe doing something in cardio and endurance other than
No,
running, like
I would
supplementing your
say
running?
I want to say no, but um, I could imagine myself doing that for like Jeff to guide him. That would be the only reason I would do it. Not because I want to do it, but because he needed a guide and I would have to learn how to do it just to help him.
Do you think he's thinking of doing some crazy
Oh,
things?
I
I
bet he
mean,
has lots of crazy shit planned.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if Regina's bike, Garmin bike computer heard me, but it just turned on suddenly. It's beeping at me. So I don't know what that means. Okay, stop. I don't know what's going on over here. But I'm trying to get back in cycling, but due to some hilarious recent developments, I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer before I get back into it. So, uh,
That's
so
probably best,
yeah,
Andrew.
it's like, all right, I'm gonna lay low, let the heat subside a bit. So do you have any like bucket list trail races, um, at all, or like just something that you're interested in doing for not just for like reasons of challenging yourself, but what about like some beautiful bucket list race, or maybe a whole new type like a last person standing? Have you kind of collected some races that you'd like to do?
I don't really have like a list of races at this point, but I would love to do something in Switzerland and go see or just anywhere in the Alps region. So I know there's a handful of races out there, and I mean, I probably not UTMB, but I know there's other races out there, and I would love to run in that area someday.
You should do tour then. I think a lot of us want to go do tour, but that's another race Stephanie won't do because it's too long. But Andrea Moore
That
wants to do it.
race, that's the one that Mika did, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
The
only thing that
multi-day.
makes me think I might want to do a 200, but not that one, but just like the way she described that one is the only time I've ever been like, oh, piqued my
and
interest.
it's right up your alley too because you can't have pacers. They can crew you, but you can't have any pacers. So you have the mental fortitude. I'm just worried about being stranded on a mountain ridge with a lightning storm and being frozen in fear and just having a panic attack and not moving until I got
But
medevaced
Andrew,
out.
have you ever been in a race and had a panic attack and worked through it? Yes, you have. So
I
you can be scared of it, but
I've
you know you'll get through it.
well, I've actually never had a panic attack yet, but in my
You don't
head,
think so?
no, but in my head, I'm like, I wish I could just have a panic attack right now. Like I'm just like I'm getting
No, I think you have.
no, a panic attack. I'm pretty sure I think I would know if I had a panic attack.
Tahoe.
I didn't even have no. That was a nightmare. That was I was too tired to have a panic attack, and plus I was in front of Regina, so I'm like I can't have a panic. Although I'm pretty sure she would describe my emotional breakdown as a panic attack.
We need to have her on so she can give us her opinion on
She's
that
right
one.
above me right now. I could call her right
Um,
down here, but
I think my panic attack was in Montana on that badass race on that one hill
the
when I was just like, and I didn't have service. Nobody could save me. I had no pacer. Like it was like the course was not marked. I had no service. And I fucking dug myself up. Anytime I go through something, I'm always take my head back to Montana and I got myself off that fucking mountain. I'm like, I can do anything. If I ever have a moment, I'm like, let me put the music on that pulled me out of my fucking like woes that I could not get. I mean, that was my moment. So now it's like, yeah. Andrew, you've had a moment where you've had panicked and gotten through it.
oh yeah, mainly at that point, I'm just so tired too that I'm just kind of numb and feel drunk to it. But yeah, I've had many high
That's what
anxiety
I'm saying. You
moments.
can do it. You can be, but here's the deal. It is okay to know I can get through it at the same time as being scared to go back to that moment.
Dude,
Like,
these are all terrifying. That's why I like the point to point type races, Just everything's different.
oh my
There's
God,
nothing
this makes me want to
familiar.
go do something really fucking crazy.
Do something point to point. Hey, well, Madeline, have you ever had a panic attack? Or not a panic attack. Have you
Not
gotten so nervous and anxious at any of
not
these?
during a race. I did have like one moment that I it resolved fairly quickly, but I thought I was about to get struck by lightning because my headlamp flashed, and I thought that that
Hmm.
was like the indication that I was about to get
Mm-hmm.
struck. And like that was a very scary moment. I
Did you
did kind
check
of
your
panic in that
hair?
moment. Yeah, I was
Oh,
about to throw my
crazy.
headlamp like off. I was about to just like throw it in the woods, and I had no light.
You just scream.
Yeah, just have to wait for somebody to come get me, I guess. I don't
Well,
know.
that's a little more reasonable though. I mean, like if I saw like I don't know a tornado coming right at me, I'm pretty sure if the person I was running with wasn't freaking out, or like a bear's just charging at us, or a mountain lion, and they're just
No.
like or whatever animal you're supposed. See, I can't even tell you which animal I'm supposed to scream back at versus lay down and pretend like. So I'm not equipped for nature at all, like
I don't know what I
whatsoever.
would do
I don't
if I
know
saw
how I'm
a
here right
bear out
now.
there. I don't
I saw one
know.
at Tahoe, but again, I was so tired I didn't give a shit. I got mad at the bear because it just kept staring at me and Mo, and I was just like, just fucking, if you're gonna do something, do it. If not, then just let us fucking go. Like Mo's over
Worst
there. Oh,
fear.
it's a bear. Look at that because he's like fresh minded and he's like taking photos, and I'm just like, dude, fucking do it or don't. Just and then I DNF'd right after, so it's the bear's fault. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us and kind of getting to know more about you and about this epic Cactus Rose race experience. Stephanie, did you have any more questions? If not,
I got them
um,
all out. I was proud of myself.
yeah, there she went. Her brain fog has subsided. We end this with something called "Can't Let It Go." So anything running or non-running related that's been occupying your brain that you don't mind kind of sharing before we end this episode. I'll go first. I'm as an example, I'm on day shifts now. Everything is hunky dory. I get to see a light while I'm working, and I'm no longer during my downtime sitting at my desk, staring in darkness and getting a little sad and eating like 8 meals a day because my just nothing makes sense with the way I wake up and go to sleep. I have like 2 dinners every night. Like that's not normal. And so I'm just so happy to be back on day shift. Things are looking up, and shout out to our friend Katie, Katie Barber in Houston. We're about to go on the beach, and she's trying to go after an FKT in Texas, Padre Island, National Seashore, which is the third largest beach, longest beach in the world. Yes, third longest beach in the world, and the largest unprotected barrier reef in the world. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool place, which terrifies the fuck out of me because we have to drive 63 miles on it on a beach, and I'm terrified of water and the ocean. So, yeah.
Sounds fun.
So this could be one of the last episodes I record. But anyways, that's my can't let it go. Stephanie, you're up next. What can't you let go?
I learned how to ride an electric bike yesterday, and I feel like I'm a teenager because it was fun. Um, Lots of excitement there. Except my arms are sore right here, and I'm like, who the fuck am I? I mean, it didn't help that I did like a good solid run that kicked my ass. I guess that's my other can't let it go. The last race I did was flat, and then I ran at CRP. I ran at Cedar Hill State Park on Saturday. I mean, it's a normal trail. I wouldn't consider it flat, but definitely I would consider it flat after I went to CRP the next day and it kicked my ass. Augustine dropped my ass. Like I couldn't even see him and his legs are shorter than mine. And he's like all the way ahead, dropped me, and then I was like, bitch, we've got some work to do. So normally at CRP I do like the big technical loop and then I just do little repeats on escarpment and bluebonnet, which is like easier sections. It's got some vert, but it's like easier. And I was like, we have to go back out for another big loop because that's what we need. And I was like, what have I done? And it's the only thing is I did that race that was so flat recently. That's the only, I mean, I run trail every weekend. So the only thing I can think is that's what got me. So I've got to get back on harder trail because Silamo is around the corner and that's my big scary race in December. So yeah, that's my two can't let it goes.
Yeah, I see some big shit in this year. So Stephanie's done quite a bit, and she's trying to do all 50, 100, or 50, 100 milers in each state, and she's about halfway through. So
If I can
hopefully,
finish the last two, Fall Creek in Tennessee in November and Spirit of Silamo in Arkansas in December, then I'll be halfway through at the end of this year.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
I
And
feel like
I want to get a tattoo.
at the
I'm going to
rate
get
that
Yeah.
my leg done.
we're going, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have more states by the time you're done. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah.
Here's the other tattoo I decided this week. I wanted to get a tattoo run like a girl for a while, like since 2 races ago. And I couldn't find out where on my body I wanted it. I'm going to get it right here. I feel like I can see it, people can see it. Like, I just have to pick my
I
font.
like that.
You guys want to say hi to Regina because
Regina, we have a story. We have a question for you.
Regina, they had a question for you. I feel like she times it to where she comes at the very end. Regina, come over here. What question do you guys have for her?
We want to
Oh,
know, can you hear? We want to know, do you think Andrew has had a panic attack in a race before? Yes, he has. He's
that's
trying to.
not Tahoe. Tahoe doesn't count.
I didn't say it was Tahoe. I said in
Then
any
what
race, has
else?
Andrew had a panic attack? Yes. You think you can't breathe?
It was
I think that was the
Tahoe.
first
Tahoe
one.
for sure.
It was just Tahoe, and it wasn't a panic
mean-
attack. It was like a nightmare.
He has a minor panic attack every race, I
Get
think.
the fuck out of
Thank
here.
you, Regina. We
don't
knew
have-
you would
He
know.
also cannot run without busting his knee open, so things to work on, Andrew. It's okay.
I don't fall that much in the 200s because I don't go fast enough to fall. So, you shut your mouth.
Hey, I had a bad fall with Lola and Augustine, like face to the ground fall.
Well, you deserved it. Anyways, we're gonna end with you, Madeline. So, anything you don't mind
You're an
letting
asshole.
go. What? You just had my girlfriend
You
come
just
on.
said I deserved to fall.
You just tried
and it was
to
delayed because I'm tired that I called you an asshole
you
a
just
second too late.
tried to unleash some mental anguish upon
No,
me.
I'm
Like,
saying my point of the story was you've had a panic attack and gotten through it.
Yeah, but
Like I was trying
well,
to tell you that you don't let it scare you.
I don't
you
even
can
know
be
if
scared
that
of
was
it,
a
but you can
panic
get through
attack at Tahoe. That was more like disbelief, just like I don't know,
But she
man.
agrees you have a moment in every race where you're
Everybody
like,
has a moment. Look
I
at
know, that's what I'm saying. If we can
look
just
at
acknowledge
look
it,
at our
then we
guest.
can
She's having one
normalize
right
it.
now. She doesn't know how to respond. She's
Where
still
the fuck do we have
She's
on?
like, oh, we gotta fucking get the fuck out of here. This is terrible, man. So yeah, we'll end with you. Anything that you cannot let go, or just don't mind sharing? Like, it doesn't have to be running related, but ours is always running related because we have no lives.
I'd say mine was biking
sounds like
related.
me.
And
I think I'm still just like on cloud nine from finishing that and doing a lot better than I thought I could. So yeah, I mean, I'm just really looking forward to getting back into running again and getting ready for URA next year. Yeah.
it's awesome. And congratulations on an epic race. The only female finisher of Cactus Rose. And she did it in a great time that beat the shit out of a lot of other people's time in interesting weather. And it's just amazing what you did. To be honest, I was shocked. Not shocked, but like I was just yeah, I was shocked by that time. I didn't think anyone was gonna come like close to that time. I think I thought maybe first place female would have gotten closer to 40 at Camp Eagle in those conditions, but like, it was just amazing what you're able to do. So,
Thank you.
so congratulations, and we look forward to hearing more and seeing what you're able to do in the future, whatever that may be, and maybe try being a little more scared out there, other than being afraid of things that you should be scared of. We want to hear more about the panic situations that are not from natural causes. So,
I'll work
you
on
know,
that.
because now I'm just feeling bad about my anxiety out there. I'm just not allowed
Why?
out
The
there.
whole
So,
point of the story, Andrew, was you were saying like
all right. So we're gonna mute
it's
Stephanie.
good.
You know.
Okay, I just put it on my calendar about Ouray, so I will reach out to you once it gets closer.
She will do it. She's a
Awesome.
woman of
Heck
her
yeah.
word. Me, on the other
Yeah.
I will
hand,
do anything to go to Colorado.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
within reason. Within reason.
yeah. She'll do
I may get my
anything.
ass kicked. Hey, I'll go pace and get my ass kicked. I don't care. It'll be fun.
I'll just do anything whatsoever without
He'll just
any,
say he'll
like,
do
whatever,
anything.
and then not do it, according to Stephanie. So, but anyways, thank you for joining us as
Andrew,
always.
we love you.
Yeah, I
thanks
know.
for
I'm just
having me
having
on.
fun. All right, don't leave
Yes,
immediately.
thank you so much.
Let's make sure this episode uploads. All right, we're gonna end this. All
Don't
right,
hop
as
off
always.
just yet.
Yeah, we've got
Happy
to mention that at the
endings.
beginning, and that's not a metaphor. Happy endings.
Happy endings.